Good morning. Welcome to another day of Mindful Monday. What I thought I'd talk about today is those voices in your head. Now, you may notice that running monologue gets a little louder every other day when you're a little bit sleep deprived or you have a little too much stress on your plate. And these voices can be voices of judgment, shame, fear. Maybe they're telling you that you can't do it or that you're a fraud. And as you go through your work life, your relationship life, you might notice these voices may sound a little bit like you or people you've known in the past. And I'm here to tell you that you're not crazy. Right? Take a breath. These are just ways that we're able to take in our own insecurities and fears at times. And if they go unchecked, then they become our reality. They become louder than the reframes that we can put on ourselves. Usually we're our worst critics. So that's why those voices sound like judgment and sound like they are so real, right? And when you can take a step back, sometimes you can notice that those voices really aren't you. And it's not that you're crazy. It's just you're overstressed, overworked, and you're not taking enough time to yourself. You don't know how to battle with those voices. And so what ends up happening is we try to avoid them. And if you think about any problem when you avoid it, it just starts to fester and it gets worse. So this week, while you're going through your meditations, and if you notice those voices, those ants, automatic negative thoughts start poking up in your head a little more to where you can't hear your own thought process, instead of avoiding or instead of focusing on trying to clear your mind, lean into those voices a bit. Get curious about them rather than being in a state of fear. Ask yourself, when did these voices start coming into my mind? When did this self doubt first appear? Was it when I was 10 years old? Was it last week when I didn't do a report right? Was it in my last relationship where I started to judge myself? Just being aware, being mindful in a state where it is not about judgment towards self, but it is about curiosity and awareness can help you understand that insecurity that has been festering for years, weeks, months. And by being able to do that, you start to make a different relationship with it. You're no longer afraid of that voice, but you know that it's coming in a time when you feel insecure. And so at that time, you can start to do reframes. You can start to write out, I know this isn't true because of, I see my progress because of, this voice came up, it served me at one point and helped me grind and work through something. And now it's not serving me. So I can show gratitude to that voice and now I can let it go. So try this out this week. It may seem a little weird and it may be hard to acknowledge that you hear some voices, but just know that we all hear voices. And it's not that we're crazy. It's just that that's how the psyche works sometimes. And if we're not able to acknowledge it, it's going to make sure we acknowledge it. So try this stuff out. Let me know what you think. Remember, breathe deeply. Live fully. Have a great week.